Hello and welcome. You are listening to At Home with Ifeno. Here, we'll talk about helping women know and understand their worth, find fulfillment in who they are, and in what they do. Every other week, we'll talk about your identity as a woman, discovering your unique purpose, intentionally raising the next generation, and your influence in homemaking. I am your host, Ifoma Nekat Omoni. Hello, and welcome to At Home with Ifeno podcast. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are connecting with us globally. How are you today? So there's this tendency of us just answering by default, I'm fine. Okay, so if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, I want you to go to the comment section and tell me how you are doing. Yes, I'm going to take my time to read those that tell me how they are doing, those that connect with us, subscribing to our YouTube channel. Just drop a comment there and tell me, how are you doing? Yeah, I know it's been a long, some people might say tough year. Some people might say, unexpected things have happened this year. I can imagine things are going on in our lives, different seasons. But in all, I want us to see that the fact that we are alive, yes, the fact that you are alive and then you are well, those two things, that's a qualification for hope. Hope in something better coming on the way. So be encouraged, whatever season you are in. If it's a trying season, it will also pass. Yes, it will end in praise to God. I have that full assurance because challenges are part of life. Before I used to say, why will bad things happen to good people? But that is what life is. The difference between you and I is the way we now respond to the challenges. It's not, Ifeno is not saying this because it's easy to on her side. When we pass the test that the challenges bring our way, there's another one ahead waiting for us. But do you know the ultimate goal in all the challenges that we face here is that it refines us, makes us better? Yes, it makes us stronger, builds our resilience, our capacity to embrace life. So look on the brighter side and say to yourself, every day and in every way, my life is getting better and better. Yeah. So welcome once again to today's episode. I believe you are doing well. And even if you're not doing well, I want to believe that after today's episode, you would have a shift in your perspective and take advantage of what you would learn here to see how you can thrive no matter what season you are in. Today's focus is tagged stressless. Stressless. Life generally brings circumstances in which stressful feelings can help us achieve what we want. I'll take that again. In life, we go through circumstances in which stressful feelings can help us achieve what we want. However, there are also circumstances in which those feelings can have a notable destabilizing effect on you. So difficult challenges have a way of propelling us not to give up and to go for what we believe we can achieve. But there are times when this stretch and stressful feelings can now take us to another extreme where it destabilizes us and doesn't do well to us physically, emotionally, and sometimes even spiritually, because when your soul is not at rest, you cannot truly prosper. Yes, if we are not at peace, if we are not prospering in our soul and then our bodies, we can't experience full prosperity. And let me say here that full prosperity or prosperity is beyond the material things we acquire. Yeah. But let's focus on what today's topic is about: stress less. We want to see how we can, take charge of the things that could bring stress to us and take us off course that could be detrimental to our well-being. So what is stress, and why is it something so common in today's world? Stress is a human reaction that can motivate us to perform better, like I said earlier, or overcome challenges. However, chronic stress can have detrimental effects on our physical and mental health. Stress is a word none of us really likes, but we've all come to accept it. It's unfortunate but undeniable that we live in a stress-filled world today. We live in a stress-filled world today. Why is this stress so prevalent today? I'd like to share some things that have made stress become part of people's lives. The first factor, or the reason why we see stress becoming prevalent today, is the fast-paced lifestyle. We live in a world of so many instant things. Increased deadlines, pressures, and the likes stem from the modern world demands, asking for constant productivity. So you are working, your boss gives you a project and tells you this is the deadline, the project must be ready, this project must be completed at a particular time. Yes, we are at the end of the year. We are counting down to the end of the year, counting days and weeks almost to the end of the year. And there are so many of us that are under unnecessary, stringent pressure to deliver, pressure for constant productivity. And it's like it's so fast. Sometimes it looks like we don't even think. There's this default mode of getting home, rushing everything. Some of us barely have good rest, to prepare us for the next day, and we continue in that cycle. This is very detrimental to our mental health and our physical health, and we have to take care of this. So we need to stress less. Many of us are stressing over so many things. So the fast-paced lifestyle is one thing that has contributed to our stress-filled world today. 2, technological advancements. Yes, it's true that technology has improved many areas of our lives, things being done faster, reduction in time, to do things. But it has also created new sources of stress. And one of the recent causes of stress and pressure is social media pressures. Information overload. Wow, there is so much in the news today, so much information, so much of everything. Sometimes I ask myself, Do we even sit down to meditate on what we say we know? Do we have this time to just be still? Someone might see you having this quiet time and be looking at you as not being serious, forgetting that maybe you have been on the go some hours ago. Please don't fall into that trap. So technology has also caused this stress that many of us are experiencing, and we just have to set out things that will help control information we get. Sometimes you don't need to hear everything on the news, 7 o'clock news, 12 noon news, 4 p.m. or so, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m. And when you look at it, most of the things there, the information is negative. So why will you spend your time taking in negative information into your system? It has a way of bringing about stress. It has a way of contributing to worry. It has a way of putting a toll on our health. We need to stress less. So we need to manage the information and the things that technology has even brought our way. We need to have control. We need to have detox. We need to put limits on how long we should be on the media so that we can protect our well-being. Another factor that has increased stress in our world today is increased demand. So you see, especially as people of family, you are a spouse, you are a mother, you are a husband, you have parents, you have siblings, you have in-laws, you have work, expectations. Juggling between work, family, social, and personal commitments could be overwhelming. If you are not careful, you'll find out and ask yourself, do I even think about my well-being? I'm trying to meet everybody's expectations. I'm trying to meet the needs of everybody. But you must be careful to make sure that you don't fall into this trap of being stressed out or taking more than you can bear. The increased demands of our world has brought stress upon many of us to that point where it's tearing us apart. It's even having a negative effect even in our families, our homes. You get to the point where parents don't have time for the children, or they say they are so, the job is taking their time. No, you need to find that time where you calm down and not allow the demands and increased expectations to take a toll on you. The fourth factor that has also brought stress in our world today to the point where it's affecting lives negatively is the economic uncertainty. Now, there are financial worries, job insecurity, the rising cost of living. All these put together contribute to our stress-filled world. So, the fast-paced life, technological advancement, increased demand, economics, uncertainty. These are just a few that are contributing to the stress that is causing a lot of problems in our world today. So how can we identify triggers of stress triggers, the things that bring about this unnecessary stretch over our daily lives and takes us to the point where it looks like we are tired, we want to give up, we can't continue. This has cost a lot of people their lives. Some people have gotten to the point where they say, well, I can't continue with this, I think it's better to end my life. Please, 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 if you have gotten to that point, seek help. Don't do something so drastic. Remember that your life is not yours and you should not do anything foolish, no matter the stress that you are going through. So let's see how we can identify things that trigger this stress that takes us to the point of causing harm. It's important to note that individual stress triggers can vary greatly from one person to the other. So what could cause stress in Ifeno's life is different from the next person, even if we're in the same office, even if we're doing the same job, even if we are married. So everybody is unique. Everybody have the different things that can cause these stress triggers. Well, I'll just share a few that seem to be common and are likely to be familiar. People would tend to be familiar with some of the things I'm going to share. The first stress trigger I will share with us today is relationship issues. Relationship issues. Are you having conflicts with your partner, your family members, or friends, or even your children? You are not finding it easy. These can induce stress on us. So our relationship issues have a tendency to trigger stress in our lives. What is really causing you to be under undue pressure? What is bringing strain? What is causing you, emotional pain and things like that? It's likely that maybe it is your relationship with your spouse, your children, maybe your parents, siblings, family members. So relationship issues is one factor that could be a stress trigger. The second factor that can also trigger stress is financial concerns. Money matter. I don't know if there's anybody that is living that will not talk about money. Interestingly, in God's word, money was something that was talked about more. Different issues concerning money. So money worries, your debt, somebody is owing you or you are owing someone, and uncertainty about the future concerning your finance has a way of triggering stress in our lives. Thirdly is work-related stressors. Tight deadlines, like I said earlier, heavy workload, job insecurity, a difficult boss or colleague. These are the things in the workplace that could trigger stress. A lot of work, sometimes you're not even sure whether this job you are going to come back to meet it next year. I know we're rounding off the year gradually. Those things can bring about stress, to a point where it's like, is it even worth living? Please, like I said, don't make any rash decisions. Seek help, meet loved ones, meet a counselor, and talk it over with someone you can trust. There is nothing that is common to just you. Circumstances, challenges are common to us all, but what differentiates us is how we handle it and how we go about it. So work-related stressors could also be a trigger that is putting a toll on some of us today. And then I'll also talk about social pressures. Social pressures. Trying to impress people attracts stress to your life. Trying to impress, trying to affect, especially forcibly or deeply, to gain the admiration or the interest of other people, it tends to bring stress on our lives. We live in a world where people want to be accepted, which is not wrong. But when you are trying, you are going out of your way and you are feeling the need to meet societal expectations and to keep up with, in quotes, the Joneses, keep up with others, it could cause undue stress on our lives. Why don't we just be ourselves? Why do we need to get into unnecessary pressure just because we want to impress people that might not even really care about us? So societal expectations and pressures are also another factor. It's also another factor that could cause stress in our lives. Please, let's be ourselves and let's not try to impress people to the point where it is causing us harm. Lack of control, feeling powerless, feeling unable to influence in important aspects of one's life can also induce stress. So all the things I've mentioned can cause this last point I made, a lack of control. So when you feel that you can't have control, you can't manage your relationship issues back at home with your loved ones and your friends, you are having financial crisis, you have not been able to pay the debts you are owing, and then you have deadlines you have not met, and wanting to be like others, all this put together causes a lack of control. And these factors, these examples are things that can cause stress. So how can we live a stress-less life? How do we stress less? The first thing is time management. Time management. This is very key for someone like me because my time, I take it as my life. And I'm somebody that when I see that people don't respect my time, I feel bad, because I'm not saying I've never been late or I always keep to, but I am very particular about time management. And this is something I believe would help to reduce stress in our lives. So under time management, one of the things we can do to help us stress less is prioritize tasks. Focus on the most important task every day. When you focus on the most important task that you need to do today, it will reduce the feeling of overwhelm and overload. Don't get me wrong. Yes, there are times when I have planned, I have written down things that I desire to achieve in a day. And as time goes on, I find out that at the end of the day, I find out that I didn't, achieve everything. But the big question to me personally is, did I focus on those things that were more important? Once I have done the things that are most important and the others are left, I have learned. Before I used to try to, finish it up and everything, but I have learned that if I'm going to enjoy my journey, if I'm going to stress less, then I must prioritize my task. And one of the ways you can do that is you need to manage events of your life, time management. And then the second part of this time management is set realistic goals. Many times we want to do so much, and so we overcommit ourselves, and we desire that we will achieve everything. So learn to reduce, don't try to make it look as if you are the Superman or Superwoman of the world. Not that you should be lazy, but set realistic goals. What are the things you can do within the timeline that you have? And then focus on your priorities. I'm still part on this time management. I will say set boundaries. How can we set boundaries? One of the things that could easily distract us in prioritizing our task and setting realistic goals, managing our time, is that we allow a lot of distractions and we don't say no. So you need to learn to say no to excessive commitments. There's nothing wrong with saying, oh, sorry, I am committed now. I'm not available to do this or do that. If I finish what I have to do, I could reach back to you. But if I can't, sorry, maybe some other time. There is nothing wrong in saying no. The problem is that many of us want to say yes to impress, which is what we have talked about. We want to impress our friends, our loved ones, even our spouses and our children. We already know that there's a lot on our plate, and some of them are very, very important. Well, instead of saying, okay, yes, I will come for this or I will do this, why don't you say, no, I am not available for now because of the commitments I have. And when you do that, you don't put unnecessary strain on yourself. You don't overcommit yourself. I am someone that I'd rather under promise and overdo. So I like surprising people. I might not even say what I'm going to do, but suddenly you just see that I've done something that so I'd rather not say I will come and visit you. Or if I'm sure that I can't make it, I will call and cancel the appointment. So learn to say no to excessive commitment, set the boundaries. Yes, and then I said one of the things that doesn't help in managing our time is our phones. So many distractions coming in through email, text messages, WhatsApp, and calls, and you already know that in the next 2 hours you should deliver a report or something. When you know you have such an assignment to do, why don't you put your phone on don't disturb, or send a message to someone that you feel will call you before then, that please, within this time, I'm not available, I'll be committed, I'll get back to you once I finish what I'm doing. And that will take a lot of stress away. So time management through prioritizing our tasks, setting realistic goals, and setting boundaries will help us stress less. So the next thing that will help in us stressing less is social connections. We are not made to live alone. And when I say we're not meant to live alone, it is not just about marriage, even though marriage is one of the avenues where companionship is enjoyed, but we need social connections with our loved ones. One of the ways we can stress less is by spending time with loved ones, connecting with our friends and family, enjoying the support and the companionship of your spouse, of your children, of your friends, and those that you love would help to reduce the stress. So you cannot just be working, or saying, oh, I'm a focused person, I don't need anybody to be a distraction. No, you need that social connection, to inspire you, to rejuvenate your strength, your morale. You need that connection. God did not make us to stay in isolation. So the second thing that could help in us stressing less is to make sure we spend time with the people we love. 3 is a healthy lifestyle. Yes, a balanced diet, adequate sleep, exercise are things that will help us maintain a healthy lifestyle. In taking balanced diets, we need energy, we need nutrient-rich foods that are rich in nutrients, balanced meals that are not lacking in the classes of food, minerals, vitamins, energy, protein, carbohydrates, and all. We need nutrient-rich food to support our overall well-being, and this is going to help in managing stress. When you don't eat well, it affects your blood sugar, and then you feel tired or exhausted, and this puts a toll on your health and well-being. Also, adequate sleep. Many of us are not prioritizing quality sleep, and until we sleep well, until we rest well, the power of rest cannot be underestimated, or should not be underestimated. Sleep is very necessary. It is good. It refuels our energy. It brings us out refreshed and ready for the day's work, and ready to take up whatever challenges may come our way. So part of our healthy lifestyle, beyond just eating balanced diet, is to have adequate sleep, which is being how do I put it now? Today, one of the things that is happening to us not having adequate sleep is that we overwork ourselves, and then screen time is taking a toll on many of us, not just adults but even children. So you see that children are even getting to be stressed, as in to their health detriment. Please, you need to control screen time to have quality, adequate sleep. The next one is exercise. Physical activity helps to reduce stress hormones and improves your mood. So if you move your body, if you engage in walks, movements, and things that would help stimulate your heart, to beat and to move, it helps also in reducing stress hormones, which one of them is the cortisol and other things. This is not a health talk per se, but we need to move our bodies. It does not need to be strenuous, but constant movements, not encouraging a sedentary lifestyle, would also help to stress less. So we need exercise to also help the stress not to come close to us. So, okay, I talked about limiting screen time. Exposing yourself to screen time is very, very, is very prominent today, especially before bedtime. Try to limit it. Try to shut down your phones and, shut down your TV, so that when you get to your bed, your body is ready, to sleep and have a restful night. You should also have this, what we call the digital detox. Take breaks from technology, from Instagram, from Facebook, to disconnect and to relax properly. These are things that will help us stress less. And then the last thing I'll mention, which is also very, very important, is intentional gratitude. Intentional gratitude. Dear listener, you need to focus on the positive aspects of your life. You need to focus on the good things that you have experienced this year. I know you have not met up with the, I don't want to call it deadlines. I know you have not met up with the expectations from the office. I know you planned something for the family and resources have not added up. But please, can we focus on the things that have worked? If you are alive today and you are healthy, you are not in the hospital, on the hospital bed with one of your legs raised up as a result of maybe an accident, so many things would have gone wrong. But you have decided to focus on the positive aspects of your life. Gratitude journaling would also help in doing this. Think more on the positive areas of your life, and this will reduce the stress you are going through. Sometimes it's our complaining and our ingratitude that also brings about stress. It attracts stress to our lives. Why don't you just think about the things that have happened for your good? And even the things that might not have happened, sometimes we do not know that they are not happening is a blessing in disguise. Yes, it might not be time. That thing that you are saying, oh, I should have gotten a car this year, I should have finished this program, but I didn't have the resources. Thank God. I always emphasize this. Thank God that you are well, that you are alive. It is only the living that have hope. So please, 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 cultivate this intentional gratitude of focusing more on the positive things you have experienced so far this year. Even if it is that you have not visited the hospital, it's enough to be grateful for. It's enough to rejoice about. Remember, it is important to find strategies that will work best for you. We've talked about social connections, healthy lifestyle, limiting screen time, and also time management as ways to reduce stress and stress less. But these are just examples. You as an individual know what will work best for you. These are just common ones that we feel would help in reducing stress and living that stress-less life that is possible, even in a stress-filled world. You need to also be patient with yourself as you implement these changes. So it's not going to happen suddenly. If you're someone that is always introverted, you need to start learning how to connect with your loved ones, connect with friends, make friends, good friends that you have similar values. I can spend some time to share and to connect with. And you'll find out that as you are patient with yourself in making these changes that will help you live a stressless life, you will find out that it will start having a positive impact on your well-being. By using the above technique with a healthy lifestyle, you can effectively stress less and improve your overall well-being. I'd like to read a scripture could also encourage you not to stress yourself, but to stress less. And it reads, "Are you weary, carrying a heavy burden? Come to me, I will refresh your life, for I am your oasis. Simply join your life with mine. Learn my ways, and you'll discover that I am gentle, humble, easy to please, and you will find refreshment and rest in me. For all that I require of you will be pleasant and easy to bear." This is Jesus speaking. I'm actually reading from Matthew 11, verses 28 to 29 from the TPT version. Are you weary, carrying a heavy burden? Jesus says, "Come to me, I will refresh your life, for I am your oasis. Simply join your life with mine. Learn my ways, and you'll discover that I am gentle, humble, and easy to please. You will find refreshment and rest in me. For all that I require of you will be pleasant and easy to bear." Is this not refreshing and assuring? So it's time for you to take action today and start your journey to a stressless you. Have a beautiful day. It promises to be rewarding as you stress less. Thanks for joining us this week on At Home with Ifeno. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17. As always, subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next in 2 weeks' time.